good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are watching, if you're logging on live, because this is like an impromptu, video that I decided to do live from Friday's show when I mentioned about that I use Chat GPT, or I did. I wouldn't say I have been. It's just an experiment. I decided to try to have Chat GPT help me with analyzing my numbers, scheduling my work week, and what that might look like, different than me doing it myself. And so Casey said, oh, I want to do that, will you help me do mine? She thought that sounded interesting, and quite a few people actually commented on the YouTube show that day about how that would be interesting. So sometimes I think the things I like or want to experiment with, I don't share publicly, not because I'm like hiding anything. I often forget that what I think is interesting, other people might think are interesting too. So that's kind of what prompted this. So what are your goals are for having ChatGPT help you with your business? What does that look like for you?
So what got me excited is you said that you put in all of your data and your profits, your goals, your just all the analytics, and then it gave you if I remember right, like a time blocked schedule for every single day. And then after that, you said, I also forgot I have a life. So I added that I have a life and I have to eat and drink and sleep and shower and grocery shop. So you add that in and then altered it. And you didn't have to think too much to go through analyzing all of that information. And you kind of told what to do to make it work. Like, who doesn't want like someone to help them with that? Like,
and I looked at it like, okay, I'm going to pretend. People hire these expensive experts, right? Like business analysts, or right, right, and so it's like, or people will buy books like the 4-Hour Work Week, or how to what is that one book that's been around for ages? Like win friends and influence people.
Yeah, right? Like a new book last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. It was how to work a 24-hour day or something.
Yeah, and it's just like we always feel like our work-life balance is so off, and I think a lot of us get on this good streak of things, and then an event happens and throws us all off on a wobble, whether it's our schedule, our chores, our diets, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I think one of the struggles with work at home entrepreneurs like us, for online sellers, is our business and our life mix. Yeah. I mean, there are people that go to a warehouse, and so they don't do their business out of their home like, you and I do, but a lot of us do our jobs out of our home. And it's hard to find the balance or that cutoff line with my dishes and this eBay pile over here.
So we don't turn off working, or we don't turn off parenting or living our own life. They're just intertwined.
And it gets overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
And then if you're someone who has like anxiety, or like
me,
or you're hard on yourself,
really bad ADHD and anxiety, and I'm medicated for it, and I'm still overwhelmed. Like, you need that help, but
and then it's like, then you're your own worst critic, right? You beat yourself up, or you watch other people on YouTube or what they're doing in their businesses, and a lot of people will say, how come they make it look so easy? How come I can't keep up with them? And we tend to compare ourselves to other, so all of the mental like crap in our head, right? And so I was getting a bit overwhelmed because, my life had been turned upside down, with losing Amazon business, trying to figure out, well, what is the best resource for me to eliminate my Amazon inventory? Do I want my account back? How do I get it back? What about my, like there was a lot that happened.
While making money and making a living to support their house.
All the things. And so that gets overwhelming in my head. And I thought, I don't know where the thought came to me. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to use Chat GPT and tell it things. And so that's how I got my schedule. I actually printed mine out. I copy and pasted it into a Gmail account, email, and I printed mine out because I like paper schedules. So I printed mine out. And today is the beginning of day 2 for me to actually implement it. So last week, towards the end of the week, I created it. And then Monday, I actually started it. So I've actually been documenting that a little bit so I can follow up at the end of the week. So I thought we could get started on doing this for you, what I did. And I already pasted in our private chat how because I have my Chat GPT open on another tab, but this was actually my intro question to Chat GPT. I didn't really know how I was going to do it. I just kept,
Mhm.
as it was giving me back answers, I just kept, that prompted more questions for me until I really narrowed it down to where I thought, okay, that looks reasonable. I'm going to try that.
Yeah. And so we were talking right before we got on about me doing it live, like on my computer versus you. I think I just changed my mind. I want you to do it. And I'll
You
give
want
you.
me to do it? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm still intimidated by it because I put stuff in.
Okay.
I did a practice run, and I felt like it was just so boring. In the end, it was like, yeah, good luck, do this. Like it was.
All right. Well, I will
I think
start a
it's
new
fun.
chat here. Okay. I'm going
Okay,
to share my screen now, and we're going to get right into
I'm so excited.
having ChatGPT help you. Now, the downside to this is going to be that I don't have your financials because I also asked it to do my financials. So I
But I
will
can
paste
copy
in.
paste it to you, so you can
Yeah,
just
I'm
copy
going.
paste
Okay,
it.
I'm going to paste in here from my Chat GPT what I asked. And I told it I need help with a weekly work schedule to be more productive and profitable. How can you
Oh, look
help
at
me?
this.
What information can I give you? So ChatGPT gave me like this little outline of what I could tell ChatGPT. So, what are my daily tasks? Because it can't make my schedule until it
Okay.
knows what it is. Um, and then you see how this can get very, very precise because it asks you what do you
Mhm.
need to do daily, weekly, monthly.
Mhm.
This could include activities like listing products, managing PPC. See,
Mhm.
ChatGPT already knows me because it already knows that I film YouTube, that I source inventory, that I do coaching calls. So, see, my ChatGPT is already learning about me.
Mhm.
So, of course, we're going to be getting suggestions that pertain to me. um, Task priorities, which of these tasks are high priority for generating the most revenue? For example, managing my PPC campaigns. What is my time available? How many hours a day? How many days a
Mhm.
week do I work? What are my personal tasks? Because, see, on my last time I asked it, I realized I had personal tasks later. And it says, you mentioned incorporating grocery shopping, house chores, and exercise. See, it's remembering my last conversation. Best time for focus. And I already told it my best time for focus was 6 a.m. to 1. Yours might be different.
Mhm.
Um, and would I like to schedule high focus tasks during this time?
Mhm.
And then I mentioned I currently didn't have a team when really I do work with my husband, but I wanted to do just a schedule for
Mhm.
me.
So,
Uh,
want me to start giving you stuff and you telling it the way you
that's
would?
right. Yes. So we don't have to spend a lot of time on
Yeah.
everything it's going to tell us. And while you're pasting that over, I'm going to start how I would then ask it my question next.
Okay. I'm gonna write. Let me
I
talk out loud.
am going to start giving you information. Please do not respond until I tell you to. Now, the reason why I do this is because every time you start spitting at questions, it automatically starts answering you. And that can get sloppy and aggravating. So now I'm letting it know to don't answer me yet. So it's saying, understood, I'll wait for you to let me know when to respond. So now I'm going to start telling it the information. So you want to work 8 to 2 is all you've given me. Do you want to verbally tell me and me type? Or are you going to reply?
So, I'm just going to tell you because it's hard for me to type in. I can tell you faster. So I want to work 8 to 2. That's when my kids are in school. My main focus is OA and RA. These are I have 4 categories: arbitrage, OA, RA, arbitrage, wholesale, my personal brand, and then I have a buyer that I have that works for me in another state that does another almost like wholesale but a different thing. So those are my 4 categories: arbitrage, wholesale, my brand, and then my buyer, which I just call them TNT because that's
Okay,
what
so
they.
all right, so I'm going to put the hours you work. So you work
Okay.
from 8 to 2. Um, Her goals are, all right, go ahead and kind of say that again.
So my goals would be to grow wholesale would be my main goal, and while maintaining my arbitrage income. And I'm also okay with growing my brand and my buyer's product.
All right. So while maintaining her, what did you call it?
My brand, and then my I have a buyer, a virtual
Yeah,
buyer.
but you said your goals were to grow your wholesale count for purchases
Oh,
while
by
maintaining
maintaining my
your
arbitrage income, because I make most of my
arbitrage
money off
income.
arbitrage.
Income.
I don't mind keeping it the same, my arbitrage.
And then you said
Better stuff.
you said you have an out of state sourcer.
You have an out of
Okay.
state, like an assist, like a virtual assistant out of state that does sourcing and buying and prepping, kind of a prep, like an all-in-one person.
Okay. Is that right? Sourcer? No.
Out of state. I call her a buyer, but it's like an assistant partner, called partner. Assistant.
I swear I can't spell assist. There's a missing S. Although the good thing with Chat GPT is you don't have to spell good.
I have noticed that they can understand my gibberish.
That
Buy,
finds
preps.
inventory and packs and preps and sends into Amazon.
Yeah, this
for
is on
her.
Amazon. I don't want to focus on Walmart.
Yeah, we're just going to focus on Amazon. Okay. And then what is the rest of your goal?
So to grow the wholesale while maintaining arbitrage.
And don't you have a teenage girl that works for you?
Yeah, two young men. So two boys that work for me as preppers, but I work 8 to 2 and they actually work after 2. So I don't need to do anything with them. I just kind of
Yeah. How many hours do they work?
12 total together, 12 hours a week.
Would that be correct that they pack your Amazon shipments?
Yeah, they pack and ship. Prep, pack, ship.
Okay. And let's see. What else do we want to tell it? What is her most productive hours are from what time? Like, when do you get your most work done? Because I know you have children, you take them to school.
Yeah.
Like, when is your most productive? Like, where you feel like your brain is on fire and you can knock out
Before
stuff?
noon. So I'm going to say 8 to noon. It's not even that long because then after that I do slow down.
Okay. AM to 12. And then so how are you making money? You're only making money on Amazon?
Yeah.
See, and for me, I have multiple streams of income. So this will be a lot more simple.
Yeah, and I'm not counting my Walmart because
yeah, because you don't want to take it into conceration right now. All right. And let's see. And then personal task.
So I don't need to put any of my personal tasks during the hours because that's why I only work those hours.
Oh, okay. So you're only wanting you're not wanting it to schedule like your life. Okay.
So I would say one day a week, I need a 3-hour break for an appointment. Like that would be like a kid or pick up like that. So you don't even have to include that because I won't have that next week.
Now we want to know, and then I plugged in my income so it could because I make income in multiple different ways, and so I wanted it to prioritize where I'm making the most based per hour to let me know where to grow, right?
So that's what I want to do too, but instead of in different income streams, I want it to be those 4 categories, like where to focus all my energy on because of those 4 categories. Like if I'm doing all this wholesale and I'm only making 3% ROI or margins, then like what am I doing type thing.
So I'm going to say, where should she focus her energy to make the most profit in her business?
Yeah.
What information do you need about her financials to answer that part of that part of her time management, we'll say. See, and everybody's messages to Chat GPT are going to look different because your work situations are different, your income is different, right?
Yeah.
Your time is different, all the things. So
Mhm.
that's the beauty of it, is you can tailor it to you. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in and let's see what it tells us. So it would like to know your current revenue split. How much of your income is from wholesale accounts versus arbitrage?
Uh-huh.
This helps determine which area might need more focus for growth. Profit margins. What are the profit margins for your wholesale compared to arbitrage? Your
Uh-huh.
monthly sales and inventory turnover. Your current expenses. What are your main expenses for inventory costs, shipping, assistant fees, and payments to the teenagers? And wholesale account status. How many wholesale accounts do you have? How
Okay.
much time is spent on maintaining them versus acquiring new ones? This information will guide how to optimize your time management. So I'm going to stop sharing this just for a moment because you see how you can really sit and spend some good quality
Yeah.
time um, grabbing this information, plugging it in. So if you want to just give me some like rough draft numbers, it doesn't have to be your actual numbers, just for us to answer it, just so people can see how that would look like. When I was doing this for myself, I did it over a course of 3 hours. Now,
Okay.
I did not stay glued, going back and forth with ChatGPT for 3 hours, but it would ask me a question and, it took me some time to gather that information. I wanted to be really, really accurate with my stuff. Um, and then I would take a break, go eat lunch, go do, list some eBay stuff. And then I would come back to it because new thoughts would come to mind, as I was really wanting to work on it. So
Yeah.
for those of you who are really wanting to spend some time narrowing down your business and how ChatGPT can help you grow, I encourage you to do that. Now, it can take you some time to get your numbers together. Maybe you don't know even what your numbers are. So if you have the paid version, I have the paid 4.0. You can actually upload files. So you can upload, you can attach a PDF. You can attach an Excel file. So if you're just doing, say, eBay, or if you're doing eBay, Amazon, and you maybe don't have a good bookkeeping system, you can go into your Amazon account or your eBay account and download even your last 3 months statements of your data. You don't even have to have a good bookkeeping system to help you figure this out. And that's a beauty of it, because some people don't have that. And so it's like they don't even know where to begin to analyze their numbers.
Yeah.
And I understand that too. And then other people are just so clued into their money. Maybe you have only Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab also has a report section when you go in there, and it has a profit and loss section. You can also download your ACE and profitability in Inventory Lab. You can do it for a range. You can do it from January till now. You can do it for just last month. Whatever time span you're wanting to look for. So there are places for you to get this data. And on any selling platform that you're on, you can download these reports if you don't have a bookkeeping system. And it may not be perfect, but it's going to be pretty damn good. And it's better to start there than to, have nothing. So when you are ready, if you want to paste in our chat
Uh-huh.
some numbers, just something to go off of, I will plug that in for you.
So I just plugged in on our messenger because it took a screenshot. And that is, if you want to block out or chop the screenshot a little bit, it shows my suppliers a little bit.
Okay.
I should have cut it smaller, but you get the numbers, the unit sold, revenue, profit, and then
And you
on
sent
here,
it to me in Facebook
messenger.
Messenger? Okay.
Yeah. And then now I'm going to do it with my wholesale. Um,
Let's see.
all right, let me do it with my wholesale. And this one I'll just, oops, I'll crop it better. And this isn't all of them. I'm just doing the main ones for right now.
That's fine. All right, I am going to I'm trying to upload it so I can cut off your supplier names on here.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, then now I'm going to do the wholesale. Oh, oops, I got to do it on Messenger. Never mind. Sorry. And then I'm sorry I didn't have this ready. I had it and I lost it. I was telling you, I did all of this and it was neater and I had all of the numbers instead of half the numbers.
I know. I told her, be ready.
Be ready. I wasn't ready tomorrow. I got the days mixed.
All right. So I'm trying to find, because when I go to cut it off, it keeps wanting to shrink the other end. So I'm.
Oh, you can leave it. It's just retailers. If you're like.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's anything super private. So, all right. So I am going to attach your files really quick. All right, so that is one of them. And then what did you now? You sent me in Messenger the other sheet.
I sent you a Messenger of the wholesale.
Okay.
Oh no, I sent you the same one twice. Somehow. There, that one's the wholesale. Sorry.
Okay.
And then now I'm going to send you the if you can see it, my brand. And then the last one I wanted to do was my assistant stuff. Unhide. So the whole buyer thing that I have with my my assistant I have is kind of new. So the numbers aren't, all the numbers are from this year, where the buyer's from just a couple weeks, like maybe a month or two. I don't remember. So it's not quite as like we're not comparing apples.
Right. And this is fine. We're just going to do this for, and you can go back and do this yourself. Okay. I wasn't screen sharing, am I? Okay. I'm going to present so I can show you, show everybody what we've done. So I'm going to share this tab. All right. So we're back in Chat GPT and see how there's this little, paperclip thing. So what I did is I had downloaded what she gave me, and then I just chose upload from computer, and then here was her things that I attached. So I did her regular arbitrage and her wholesale. So I am going to upload those numbers, and the first image is, what did I tell it was? What was I calling it earlier?
That's arbitrage. Let's see what I know.
Okay, it is.
Let me see if I can find my last one. Oh, funny. I found it. I found my sheet. Maybe this will help you. I'll just give you my screenshot from before. Let's see. Let me get rid of that. The one I said I made.
Yeah, usually when I upload a photo, it tells me it will say something like it's reading, or so I don't know what the.
Okay, so what I just sent you, I created a spreadsheet, and I guess I didn't save it, but I saved a screenshot of it, and I don't know why I didn't save the spreadsheet. So my last screenshot to you had wholesale, arbitrage, my buyer, my assistant, and then my brand. And it has all the margins and everything you need on it. So that should help if you want to.
Okay, for right now, it's reading the two that you gave me. And so if you want me to analyze another image, I will jump over and input the other image if you'd like. But for right now, it says your total revenue from arbitrage appears to be $52,000 with a profit of $14,000. The cost of your inventory was $3,000, indicating there is still unsold stock. Profit margins vary across different suppliers, with some yielding higher returns than others. Significant profit from suppliers like Smart Replen and Marshalls. Your wholesale, it says your revenue is $15,000 from there, and with a profit of $9,000. So that's both of those look really good. This indicates a much higher profit margin in wholesale compared to arbitrage.
Okay. Yeah.
Inventory cost and current on-hand values are zero, suggesting that wholesale items have been sold through efficiently without
Oh, see,
excess
that's
work.
not accurate, actually. So the
Okay.
last thing I gave you had all of the information. I wonder if can you redo this with that new
Yep.
thing?
And so then it's going to give you suggestions, and then it's going to tell you your time allocation, etc. But yeah, I can I'll go over to Facebook, and is it you gave me two more pictures. You put brand as one of them.
Yeah, so the very bottom one I sent you, just do that. That I found that
The very
afterwards.
bottom one. Okay.
Yeah, it's and on the side it'll say
Okay.
WSRA, PNT, and SB bundle. So that has
Got it.
everything on one sheet.
Okay, got that. So I'm going to go back to screen sharing. Share screen. We're going to go back to Chat GPT, and I'm going to upload now. I put complete. I think I called it. Oh, not here. Hold on. I need it from computer. No, complete data. Okay.
See, I love that. You don't even have to tell it to ignore. You just update it.
Yeah.
I just love this.
So now I'm telling it to do it again. And I always say please. And Lucy cracks up at me. She's like, it's a robot. You don't have to tell it please.
Got manners.
Please do this. Thank you. Yeah. I look, if we're gonna teach AI, we might as well teach it to be polite, right?
It's gonna be your partner. You don't want to talk back to you the same way. So you
right.
So I don't know if anyone else is as excited about this as I am, but I'm pretty.
Yeah, I don't know why I felt like mine went faster, but maybe it didn't. But see there, how it did the analyzing.
Yeah.
So one thing I do love about this paid version is how it can read an image. You can upload a PDF, and that's why I pay for it, is honestly for that. So for those of you who do your own PPC campaigns, who you do any kind of spreadsheets, any type of data, you can upload all of that. And if you do your PPC, you can ask it to analyze, what got the most clicks, where should I be spending my money, so on and so, you can ask it all of these different things.
How much do you pay?
It's like $20 a month. And to me, it's worth every penny for all of for doing this. Like when I wanted to analyze my numbers, for me, this is worth, look, a bookkeeper costs more than $20.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is your wholesale, your current inventory, your average price per item, your average monthly sales, your monthly cost, and how much units you've sold. So it's breaking down what's actually on that paper. And then it's giving you your recommendations, and it tells you to focus on wholesale because you have a lower cost with high potential. And I will tell you from experience, as you know, the last year I was doing Amazon, I was really switching away from online arbitrage and retail arbitrage. And I want to say about 90% of my business became nothing but wholesale accounts.
Wholesale, yeah.
Because I was
I love it. It's exciting when I get my wholesale sales stuff in, and it's,
yeah, because there is higher profit. So I will say,
but
this is definitely true. Manage and optimize your retail arbitrage, high sales volume. Retail arbitrage is currently the highest sales driver for you with 8,000 in average monthly sales, but it also has a high cost.
Yeah.
It's crucial to review the profit margins for each product. And this we all know, right? Like it's not telling us anything we don't know.
But I need to be told again sometimes,
Yes.
Because I don't, like, I might have my 40% ROI that I want, but by the time it price tanks, it goes back down to 20 and 15.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with arbitrage. The numbers are just all over the place.
Yeah. So. And it's saying with your cash flow management, nothing that all of us don't already know that do this. Given the high inventory levels, focus on clearing out slower moving RA while keeping an eye on profitable restocks, blah, blah. We already know that, right?
I know, but I love it telling me.
Yeah. And it's evaluate your P&T inventory.
That's my assistant.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what's that? Okay. So P&T has a steady sales and manageable cost. If this category has good margins, it might be worth maintaining. However, it is important to review the profitability of this line to decide if it's worth the effort compared to wholesale or RA.
Uh-huh.
Niche focus. If P&T represents a private label or specific niche, consider scaling if margins are favorable. So
Okay.
is this something that's new? Is that why it doesn't know
Yeah.
enough?
It
Okay.
is new and it is kind of niche. So it's
Okay.
because yeah. So that's
Interesting.
interesting.
All right. So bundle strategy. So I guess some of your stuff on that sheet was about bundles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the SB bundle shows low average monthly sales, but also has minimal monthly cost. This could be a good option for slow and steady income, but should not be the primary focus. And now here's your allocation times. 8 to 12 is your high focus time. Focus on expanding wholesale accounts from during 8 to 12, reaching out to new suppliers, negotiating deals. Review the profitability of your current RA products and identify slow moving items for liquidation or discounting. Analyze sales data to identify trends and optimize restocking decisions. And then from 12 to 2 is operational tasks. Coordinate
Mm.
with your teenagers on prepping stuff, manage your customer service, monitor Amazon account health, handle order issues, review inventory levels, plan for future sourcing trips or online purchasing.
Okay,
Now,
so that's great because I was doing that early in the morning before,
mhm,
not with my preppers, but with the other stuff. I'm like, that's the first thing I do is handle all these issues with Amazon or, you know.
right. Now, one thing I can see here that you didn't put into here is that, and only because I know you, is we didn't tell it. And see, this is where, fine tuning or fine honing what we our tasks will be. So it helped us with your money, and you see how you can get really more detailed with that if you want to.
Yeah,
But also, when do you go sourcing? And I
yeah,
because we're friends, I know that you go out and you source at retail stores. So
yeah,
we didn't tell it, I need a day for
yeah,
shopping, or it takes me this many hours to shop to find
yeah,
enough inventory.
yeah,
Um, we didn't allocate for that.
yeah.
So,
Because this is
how,
kind of a general one too. It doesn't say Monday do this, Tuesday do
no,
that.
because we didn't give it enough details. See, with
Okay,
mine, I gave it a lot more details than yours. This is a
okay.
very scratching the surface task. Say, I need
So I source on
more
Fridays. I do an
detailed
8 to 10 hour shift on that.
schedule. I need time to go into stores shopping. And how many hours do you normally spend shopping?
I would say 8 to 10 on one day a week. I do a full day, and I'm going to do it on Fridays now, starting this week. I was Wednesdays.
And then you also want to um, take into consideration the time spent shopping is for
Arbitrage.
arbitrage
Yeah.
income, because remember, this is also part of how long it takes
Mhm.
you. You wanted to the pay to my teenagers
I
um,
pay 700 a month to them.
is right 700 a
Yeah.
month taken from arbitrage income.
Uh-huh.
And then how much time is spent on wholesale?
I don't really have anything. I have no idea.
Yeah.
2 to
Um,
10, 2 to 20. I honestly have no
See,
idea.
right. And these are, but then that's okay. But,
Yeah.
use Chat GPT in your own free time to then work out these details, right? Because you have to take the hours spent on doing that part. So if your arbitrage is I spend 4 hours a week online sourcing, I spend 8 to 10 hours a week in the store, I also pay teenagers $700 a month.
Mhm.
All of that, it goes toward your net lines. I don't know why something went wrong, but
Mhm.
but it said it went wrong. Then you'll also want to take into consideration, how much time do I spend on wholesale? How much time do I spend ordering that? What other supplies or cost is involved towards my wholesale, and that also affects your net bottom line, right?
Yeah.
Every little aspect, as you start thinking about it, like, oh, I didn't consider that, just go back into Chat GPT. See how on the side I have these are ones I've kept open. If you want to delete them, all you have to do is click this and do delete, right? But
Mhm.
if they are ones that you want to keep, sometimes, like I do, credit card games, right, where I earn money on
Mhm.
my spend for miles, things like that. I like to keep this open because maybe I have a thought later and I want to come back to it. Like here's my week schedule that I worked on. So maybe I have a new thought like that, like this, and I want ChatGPT to update my schedule, update my daily schedule with the new information. I think because I told it earlier, wait to answer me until I tell you. I think that's what's going on here.
Plus, we told it 8 to 2, but
Yeah.
then on Fridays, I don't work 8 to 2. Fridays, I'll work 8 to 8 or 9 to 8.
Right. And that's okay because I mean, we're just doing this for the sake of sharing it with others in our community that work from home that you want to do this too. And so this is just all food for thought. Everyone's schedule is going to look different, right? Everybody's story is going to be different. So this is like just a food for thought.
One thing I'd like to put in after looking at this, if there's time and stuff, is like where I should focus my cash flow, since my cash flow is always limited. Should I put what percentage of my cash flow should I put in wholesale versus arbitrage?
See, now here is a Monday through Thursday, 8 to 2.
Yeah.
Right. And what to do from 8 to 10 on the wholesale accounts, 10 to 11, do this, 11 to 12, do these things, 12 to 2. So it's breaking it down. Saturday is your shopping day. It's giving you a lunch break.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, it's giving you business things because we've not asked it to manage like our laundry and kids and this part. You just are asking it for your business hours. And then it did give you some notes at the bottom about the teenagers. Their 12 hours a week can be spread across Monday to Thursday to focus on packing and prepping them for shipment. Your budget management set aside $700 from arbitrage income each month to cover the payment for the teenagers. Now, what was something else you said you thought you'd like to ask?
So with limited cash flow, what percentage should I allocate to wholesale versus arbitrage? I probably have how much I've spent, but that would be an inventory lab to figure out.
Yeah. So I asked it, with limited cash flow, what percentages of my income should I allocate to arbitrage and wholesale? What information do you need to help answer this? Because I figured just to ask it that blanket question may not be deep enough. And that's why I always ask it, what information do you need? Because I can't assume I know what to tell it all the time. So it wants to know the average profit margins for both the wholesale, which it should have on that picture I gave it. What is your current cash flow available each month for purchases, your inventory turnover rate, your sales stability, your monthly expenses, what are your growth goals? And see, we wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't have that right here.
Because it's just so detailed. But it gives you an idea. And so I would probably go in there and say, like, this is my debt. This is how much debt I owe for my business if you have debt, right? Like, I don't know what your business is, but I would tell it, like, I have this much debt. On average, I'm spending this much on wholesale, this much on retail arbitrage when I go into the stores. I would really give it as much details as you possibly can. And the more you feed it, the more and more it gets to painting the picture and the story for just you, and it gets really, really realistic. And I found that it gave me some good suggestions. Some of the things I was already doing, and so that made me feel good. Like, okay, I'm on the right track to doing these things correctly. But it can really, really be great. And so treat ChatGPT like you have access to your own financial guru, like it's Shark Tank, right?
Well, no, I hired a financial advisor for what did he charge? $200 an hour. When I got rid of my CPA, I hired a financial advisor through Bookskeep, And so I had that, and it helped a lot, but it was $200 an
$200 an
hour.
hour. And here you
Yeah,
have Chat GPT for maybe $20 a month if
yeah,
you should want to pay for the pro plan.
yeah,
And with that being said, treat it like that $200 an hour financial advisor.
yeah.
In fact, you can tell Chat GPT, and you're the one that taught me this when we went
Yeah,
to ASD, because
I took
you
that course.
listened to
Yeah, the
the
speaker.
speech on how to talk to it was, I want you to act as my financial advisor. You can tell Chat GPT it's a
Could be what
role.
you want it to be. Yeah,
Yeah, you tell
I forget that.
ChatGPT, yes, who you want it to be. So tell it, I want you to now act as my financial advisor, and download every report you can possibly think of, but tell it to wait, right? Because you're going to be giving it a
Yeah,
lot of data, and give it all your reports. Give it, because reports contradict each other, right? Like you
yeah.
have what is it called? Not Seller Lab. What is the one that you have?
Seller board.
Seller board, thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
There's so many sellers. So you have seller board reports, you have inventory lab
yeah,
reports,
yeah.
you have your Amazon
Amazon.
reports, you
Yeah,
have your actual bookkeeping system
bookkeeping
reports.
reports. Yeah,
And they will all contradict a little. We all know that. We all see
yeah.
that with all of our
And
tools,
some get more
right?
detailed than others, and
And some are more
yeah,
detailed, and give it all of these reports. Say these are different, and tell it, say these are from different, this is from a program called Seller Board, this is from a program called Inventory Lab, blah 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 blah. This is the data on the same exact account. There will be some varying numbers. I want you to act as
yeah,
my financial advisor. Take this data, tell it what you want, just tell it,
yeah,
and let it keep spitting back information. And
yeah,
then start telling it, this is what it's already going to know what you spend on retail because it says so, right?
yeah. And
Because
the reports,
your
it'll show
reports
everything.
tell it, I have all of these credit cards, I have debt on 5 credit cards, on 1 credit card for your bit, whatever your story is.
Yeah.
Tell it I'm debt free. Tell it I have this much in my business checking account,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you're also leaving that out of the story. You
Yeah.
have a balance in your business checking account. You might have a business savings account.
Mm-hmm. And
Give
yeah.
it that information. Tell it. Say and I also, and I broke down it by credit cards too. I like to use this credit card for this because I get X amount of points for travel. How can I best use the perks on my credit cards
Yeah.
for running my business? These credit cards give me this for retail store. You don't have to do
Whatever it is. Yeah, I know what
just
you're talking
throwing
about.
out like all the things that you are actually
Yeah.
doing in your business. Tell it.
Yeah.
Don't leave anything out that you can possibly think of. And then it might be 2 a.m. You're going to think, oh crap, I just remembered this. It's okay. Keep
Yeah.
that chat open
Yeah.
and say, I left out new information, because if you had a financial advisor, you would be sending him an email the next day. Oh,
Yeah.
Jeff, I forgot. I had a thought.
Yeah.
I also do this. And he's going to say, oh, Casey, that's great. Thanks for telling me. That's going to
Yeah.
be great data for me to add into you, right? Like if it
Yeah.
was a person. So treat your conversation with it. And if you want to in a week, follow up. If you actually get this done
Yeah.
today and
Uh-huh.
are working on it this week, I would love to have you back on to follow up, because I'm actually going to follow up on how my week turned out
Yeah.
using Chat GPT to help me with my schedule and my stuff. So I think it would be a really fun thing to share. And I would love to know, for those of you watching, leave a comment below if you decided to try this. And
Yeah. I'd love to hear other people's
good
tips if they do it,
information.
even if it's not as detailed or whatever their situation is. I just think it would be really fun.
It is. It's really fun. And sometimes it catches things like on yours, it already caught right away the answer to your question. Wholesale is where your best
Which
efforts are
honestly,
at.
when I analyzed my numbers, I read it different. And then I showed my numbers to my husband. He read it wholesale. And I was like, no, it can't be wholesale because this, and this. And he's like,
Because
but what
sometimes
about
what
this,
gets
this, and this?
skewed is that because most of your effort is in retail arbitrage,
Yeah.
most of your spend there, most of your sales, like money at the end of the
Yeah.
month, was there.
Yeah.
And wholesale might be the smallest one.
Because I
So of
worked on
course we're
wholesale
thinking,
this year, but I've worked on arbitrage for however many years, right?
that's
So
right.
like that one I got figured out. Where wholesale I got figured out now, but at the beginning of the year I was making mistakes, not mistakes, but
That's
making
right.
better
And I
choices
started using
now.
Chat GPT
Yeah.
a little bit last year. And I started doing stuff like this last year. Now, I never had it do my schedule, but I have had it working with me on my numbers for the last year. And over, the surprising factor for me, and because I would look at my inventory lab data, and that's where I got skewed, is that I kept feeling the urgency to do the retail and online arbitrage because most of my sales were coming from that. So that's why I
Yeah,
kept
you want to
pursuing
maintain
that.
it, right?
But
Yeah.
ChatGPT kept telling me your
Yeah.
higher sale through rate and your higher profit per margin and you're spending less time on wholesale is where you're really making more money.
Yeah.
So I kept making more focus there while not giving up the other because I needed to maintain a certain amount of number.
Yeah.
And then it started to make more sense. Well, if I'm putting, with the wholesale accounts that I had, I was also mostly making my own listings on those and I didn't have competition. So I
Yeah.
was getting all the sales and
Yeah.
I was making more percentage on my income. So when I focused on that and grew that more, I could really see the profit margin shift, the
Yeah.
amount going in my checking account shift. I was doing half the amount of work,
Yeah.
and it took a year. It took a year for that shift to happen because it takes a long time
Yeah.
to build up the wholesale. So as I was getting wholesale, it maybe was only one thing I was getting from that supplier that I found. Because just because you find a wholesaler and they have a catalog of 500 things,
Yeah.
all 500 of them aren't going to be good,
Yeah.
right?
You
And
might
maybe
get
only
one
two
good
or
one.
three are good.
Yeah. And then in three months from now, there might be 10 more because they change so much. That's one thing I think people, I mean, this is off topic, but you have this wholesale account and it sucks. There's only one thing or nothing. So they dismiss it. But really, in 3 months from now, they have different inventory. So you got to keep checking.
Yeah, and the wholesale, like in fact, my wholesale supplier that I order some things from, when I called her yesterday because they deliver it to my house, she said, so and so is going to be there. Are you going to be home? Yes. She goes, oh, by the way, I was going to call you. She says, because we got some new items in. My wholesaler is always getting in new items.
Yeah.
And she says, I want you to, take a look at them if you want them. And I said, oh, okay. We had that conversation. And so you also build up really great relationships with your wholesale suppliers. In fact, one of my top selling items in my account for the last several years was a private label item. And the reason why it was so great is I could call my private label company and order as many of them as I wanted.
Yeah.
And they never ran out because it was a specialty product that they make. That's their only business, is making this type of item. And they make it for retail stores, souvenir shops, for like travel destinations, like their gift shops. And so this is their business model. They're never going to run out of inventory ever.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I can have as much of that in stock as I want all the time.
Yeah.
And, and it's my private label. So no one can ever jump on that listing ever, ever, ever. And that was the beauty of that particular item. And so you can expand on that, and you can expand all of these things while you're still keeping your online arbitrage. But you have to be able to block time to take a break and pursue those other things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And there's just so much. I'm just so excited about this. I'm going to go back and watch this like 3 times and screenshot and write it all down. And is there any comments? I can't believe no one has said anything. I don't know if they have. I don't see stuff.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of viewers. For one, I scheduled it the last minute this morning, and we have very few viewers watching. People will definitely watch this later. We do have one comment from our friend Reno, and he says, hi, ladies.
Oh, hey, Reno.
So
yeah, so let's follow up on this if we can. Like, I don't know when you want to do it, and I'll put more effort into it, but I'm busy today, and so I'll do it tomorrow.
And even this evening, when you're just relaxing on the couch, if you have a laptop, I do a lot of this kind of stuff in the evening while I'm kind of like also watching TV and just hanging out on the couch. And
do it. I got my kids will be jumping on me. I got my puppy now. Like, nope, I got to be locked in my room. My ADHD.
Look, put them kids to bed. No,
that's true, right?
All right. Well, good luck. I'm excited to see what kind of information it comes up with for you. And if it gives you that, like, oh, wow, like it did already with your wholesale. Yeah, it can be really, really fun.
Yeah, this was fun. I appreciate this so much. Hopefully, other people got some value. But don't forget to tell everyone to like and subscribe. You always forget.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm the worst for that, aren't I? Yes, like, subscribe, comment below if you're going to try this, and if you if ChatGPT gave you info that you like.
Maybe do a follow-up next week or the week, like in a week or week and a half, whenever we're both done with it. But yeah.
All right. Well, have a good day. Thanks for watching, for those of you that watched, and definitely comment below. I really, really want to know what you guys think. Bye.
Bye, everyone.